It's 1 a.m. at night. Mr. Augustus ran out from the house with Evie followed him from behind. Y or N is nowhere inside the house. They look around the house but she isn't there. Evie. She's not here. Mr. Augustus. Let me call her ex-boyfriend. I think she's with him. He take his phone to call Taehyung. Evie. Sir Y or N. Mr. Augustus look up and saw Y or N is coming. He run to her. Mr. Augustus, Y or N, where did you went? Do you have any idea how worried I became? Y or N. Dad, don't talk to me now. Right now I'm so sad. I want to stay alone. Saying that she went inside the house and Evie followed her. Mr. Augustus rubbed his forehead and go inside. Sitting in his office cabin, Taehyung was working on his laptop when Lara run inside the room without knocking. Lara. Kim Steve is dead. Someone kill him. Taehyung. What? He stand up from his seat. Lara. The maid found his dead body in his room in our stuff quarter. I think Y or N killed him. Taehyung. Y or N? No, she can't do this. Lara. You're saying this after seeing how mercilessly she killed her own grandfather. Taehyung. I don't know. I can't blame her like this without any proof. Lara. I'm sure it's her. Taehyung. I can't assume anything until the police find the killer. Lara. I'm telling you it's Y or N. Evie was cutting some fruits for Y or N, and Y or N was staring at the knife in her hands without blinking. Suddenly she asked, Y or N, Ms. Evie, which dead will be more painful, stabbing someone with a knife or choking him with nylon rope? Evie was taken aback by her question, but soon she managed herself and placed the knife on the side. She smiled before replying. Evie, every death is painful, but we should live and also let the others live happily. 'Cause everyone deserve this beautiful earth. Y or N? No, not everyone deserve to live. Some people should die. They should die. Saying that she get up and walk towards her room. Evie wash her hands and go to YN's room as well. It's not safe to let her stay alone. Evie come to YN's room and saw she's taking out her clothes from the cupboard. Evie, are you going somewhere? YN. Yeah, I'm going to office to meet my Tae. Evie, can I come with you? Y or N? Sure, I will introduce you to Taehyung. Leah. Congratulations, Miss Lara. Finally you remove Y or N from your way. Nancy. And Mr. Kim is officially your boyfriend now. Yay, Leah. Now give us the money you promised. Lara smirk and take her phone. She transfer money to both of their accounts. Lara. I sent $2,000 to each of your account. Nancy. Pardon me, Miss Lara, but I think I deserve more. I got attacked by that psycho Y or N times for your plan. Leah. Oh come on, I make her almost eat the abortion pills. Lara. Shut up. Stop arguing or I'm taking back the money from both of you. Leah looked down and Nancy roll her eyes. Lara. Leave my office right now. Both of them left. Taehyung was explaining a file to an employee when Y or N come and snatch the file from him and throw it on the floor. Taehyung become dumbfounded. She stick with him and cupped his cheeks. Y or N? Are you still angry on me? Let's go back home. I don't want to stay at Dad's place. Taehyung look around and saw all the employees are staring at them. Taehyung. Y or N, go from here. We'll talk later. Y or N? No, I know you will ignore my calls and won't come to take me. I'm sorry I should listen to you, but trust me, after climbing down few stairs I was going back cause it's not good for baby's health. And that Lara. Kim, what is she doing here? Don't tell me she'll still work as your assistant. Y or N? Shut your garbage like mouth, bitch, or else I'll rip it. Taehyung. Y or N, let's go from here. He hold her hand and drag her outside. Lara, Nancy and Leah followed them. Evie was already standing outside. YN. I'm also angry with you. Where did you go with that Lara yesterday? You even touched her cheeks. I will not spare that bitch easily. Taehyung leave YN's hand and said, Taehyung. Go from here. Y or N. Go away from my life. I've tolerated enough. I'm tired. I can't take your behavior anymore. Please Y or N, try to understand. I need mental peace. I can't live with you. Y or N. You want to leave me? Taehyung. I already left you. But you just kept coming to me. Why don't you understand the simple thing? Y or N. But you promise me that you will never leave me. Taehyung's eyes more softened and he hold YN's shoulder. Taehyung. I'm sorry, but I have to break the promise. I can't do it anymore. Y or N. Don't you love me anymore? Taehyung. I don't want to love you anymore. Y or N? Then prove it, she said, staring at his eyes. Taehyung, take a deep breath. Taehyung, I really want to move on. Saying that, he walked towards Lara and sit on his knees in front of her. Taehyung, Miss Lara, I know it's so sudden and quick, but you said you will help me to move on, and it's only possible if you become my other half. So, Miss Lara, will you marry me? Yn trembled and was about to fall, but Evie hold her. Lara, oh my god, yes. Taehyung get up from the ground and smile at her. Taehyung, thank you so much. Lara was about to kiss Taehyung, but he stopped her. Taehyung, please give me some time. Lara, but I'm your fiancé now. Taehyung, will you go on a lunch date with me? Lara, sure. She wrapped her hands around Taehyung's arm and they started walking away. Lara turned around while walking and smirked at Yn, who's looking so broken. As soon as they left from her sight, Yn hugged Evie and started crying in her chest. Nancy, aw, poor girl. I'm feeling bad for her. Her Taehyung just proposed someone else in front of her. Leah, my Taehyung will never leave me, she said, imitating her voice. They laughed at her. Nancy, her Taehyung just crashed her heart. Leah, along with her ego. Nancy, let's go on a club tonight. We need to celebrate poor Yn's breakup. Leah, yes, we own a treat from Ms. Lara. They walk away while talking, and Yn was just staring at them with her red eyes. At night, Leah and Nancy sit inside Leah's car while laughing. Both are drunk. Nancy, did you see the boy's face after I rejected his proposal? Leah, that was hilarious. They started laughing again. Suddenly, someone spoke from the back seat of the car. Did you enjoy your last day in this world? They look at the back seat, hearing the familiar voice. Leah, you? How did you come here? The person doesn't reply and take out a blue nylon rope and wrap it around Nancy's neck with great pressure. Nancy's eyes widen and she tried to free herself from the rope, but the person is holding it so tightly. After 20 seconds, Nancy stops struggling. Her hands fall on her lap and she died there with wide open eyes. Leah was trying to open the car door with her trembling hands, but alas, the door is locked, and after few seconds she ended up like Nancy. Yn come back home at 2 a.m. at night and saw her father is sitting on the couch. Mr. Augustus, it's the second time you're doing this. Why did you go out in this hour? Yn doesn't reply. She was just standing there silently. Mr. Augustus, do you have any idea how worried I was? Why didn't you care about others? Yn, 'cause nobody care about me. Mr. Augustus, how can you say this? Yn, I care about you. Yn, then why did you left me with that old man, huh? Mr. Augustus, he was your grandfather. Yn, he loved you a lot, but you did the worst to him. Yn, I did the worst to him. He is the one who destroyed my childhood. He is the reason of my miserable life. He destroyed me. William Augustus destroy everything. Mr. Augustus, no, Yn dad loved you. You're her only heir. Yn, and that is the worst thing. Your dad never loved me, he just see me as his heir who should be perfect like a robot. Your dad used to abuse me. He never let me play. He never let me draw. I didn't have color pencils. He never let me eat good food. I grew up eating raw vegetables. He even made starve for days if did mistake. No one wish me happy birthday. I don't even know when is my birthday, Dad. Yn, tell me, Dad. Do you remember the date of my birth? Mr. Augustus looked down. He was always busy in his work that he never think about such things like his daughter's birthday. He heardYn's chuckle. Yn, and you said you care about me. She walked towards her room. Evie was standing there looking down. Mr. Augustus walked towards his room with his trembling legs and locked the door. He never imagined his father will treat his daughter like this. All these years he thought he left her in a good hand. But now he realized why his daughter is like this. His father make this daughter like this. Mr. Augustus started blaming himself. How much pain her daughter bear because of him. No wonder why she killed William Augustus like this.Yn's father felt an unbearable pain in his head. He laid down on the bed and closed his eyes. After, sometimes blood started coming out from his ears and nose. Taehyung's phone buzzed. He took the phone from bedside table and received the call. Lara. Good morning, Kim. Taehyung. Morning, Ms. Lara. Lara. I have a good news. Dad fixed our wedding next month. Taehyung. Don't you think it's too early? Lara. Don't you want to move on from your psycho ex? Taehyung just sighed heavily. Lara. So, Taehyung. Let's get married soon. Lara. That's my man. Now get ready quickly, we're going out for wedding shopping. I will buy the most expensive and sexiest dress for myself. Taehyung. I will be in your place in 1 hour. Lara. Okay, come fast. After getting ready, Taehyung was about to go out, but stopped hearing his mother's voice. He already shifted in the new house. Now his whole family has come to stay with him as the house is pretty big. Mrs. Kim. Taehyung, where are you going without having breaky? Taehyung. I'm going for wedding shopping with Ms. Lara. I will have breakfast with her. Mrs. Kim. Are you sure you want to marry Lara? I'm sure you still love Y or N and she needs you in this time. The poor girl just have miscarriage. You should stay with her at least until she recover fully. Taehyung. Mom, you don't have to think about me or Y or N. Just think about yourself and your younger son. Enjoy. Do as much shopping you want. Saying that, he left from there. Mrs. Kim looked down holding her tears. After shopping, Taehyung dropped Lara at her house. His father, Mr. Davis, was standing outside. He was talking with someone on phone call. Taehyung. Good afternoon, Mr. Davis. He greeted after Mr. Davies cut the call. Mr. Davis. Good afternoon, young man. So how was your shopping? Lara. Boring, just like Kim. Taehyung get a call from Alex. He received the call and placed it in his ear. Taehyung. What? But how? They were fine yesterday. Alright, I will talk to you later. He cut the call and looked at Lara. Taehyung. Leah and Nancy is no more. Someone find their dead body in Leah's car this morning. Lara. What? Y or N killed them, I'm sure. Mr. Davies. I sent large amount of money to their families. Lara. You knew? Why didn't you tell me? Mr. Davies. I didn't find it necessary. Taehyung. What does the cops said? How did they die? Mr. Davies. I didn't inform the police. I think they died because of drinking too much alcohol. Taehyung. But it's necessary to inform the police. What if they died for another reason? Mr. Davies. There is no another reason. Now let's not waste our time by talking about the person who already died. Lara dear, show me your wedding dress. Lara. Of course Dad, but please add more security. Y or N is dangerous and I'm sure she killed them. It's already afternoon and Y's father still didn't come out from his room. Y or N. Ms. Evie, was I too harsh on Dad last night? Evie. No dear. Y or N. Then why didn't he come out for breakfast? It's already lunchtime but he's still inside his room. Evie. Why didn't you go and call him by yourself? Y or N. You're right, I should call him. She climbed down from the chair and walked towards his father's room. After 15 minutes, Y or N run to Evie. Y or N. Dad isn't opening the door nor responding my calls. Evie. Come, let me see. Evie knocked the door of Y's father's room and called him from outside. After 5 minutes she looked at YN. Evie. Do you know where's the key of his room? Y or N. Yeah, it's on that drawer. Evie opened the door and they go inside the room. Y or N saw her father sleeping in the bed. Y or N. Look, he's still sleeping and I was worried sick. She walked towards her father's bed and sit there. Y or N. Dad, why are you still sleeping? You scared me. She stopped seeing dry blood under her father's nose. Y or N. Dad. She touch him and realize his whole body turn cold. Y or N. Shake him to wake him up. Y or N. Ms. Evie. Why my dad isn't waking up? Taehyung come back home and his mother rushed to him. Mrs. Kim. Taehyung, why didn't you receive my calls? Taehyung. What happened? You're looking tensed. Mrs. Kim. Yin's father is no more. Taehyung becomes speechless hearing it. He bite his lower lips and take a deep breath, closing his eyes. Mrs. Kim. Your father already went to see him for last time. I was waiting for you. Taehyung doesn't know what game is life playing with them. Standing in the crowd, he look at Y or N, who's staring blankly at her father's grave. They are placing him in the grave. Y or N was just staring there. She isn't crying, nor there's any expression of sorrow in her face. She turned into a stone statue. She have nothing, literally nothing to lose now. One by one, her relatives come to her to show their concern. Y or N doesn't even look at them cause she doesn't know them. She never saw them. Some were saying they're her cousins. Some were her uncle and aunt. Some were her father's cousins. They're saying they understand Yin's pain, But where they were when she suffered alone since childhood, why they come today? Cause her father left a huge amount of property for his daughter? This poor girl can't handle these properties alone, she needs their help. And besides they come here to show their rights on it. People run there where they found their interests. Yn saw slowly her father's grave got covered with soil. Means she never gonna see him again. Yn turned around and started walking away slowly. Along with Yn's few relatives, Taehyung also come at Yn's place. Evie become busy serving them. Meanwhile, Taehyung's eyes were looking for Yn. He found himself climbing the stairs to go to the rooftop. Here she is, sitting on the terrace, staring at the sky blankly. Taehyung walked towards her and cleared his throat to gain her attention, but she doesn't even look at him. That's really unusual. The Yn who used to jump on him in excitement is now behaving like he's a stranger to her. Taehyung is feeling an unknown fear inside him. Why she's so calm? It feels like the calmness before the storm. Taehyung managed to utter some words. Taehyung, you should go downstairs and rest. It's getting dark. Yn, I'm not afraid of dark. I was afraid of only one thing and that was leaving without you, but now I don't have anything to lose. There's nothing to afraid of now. Yn is talking so calmly and maturely which scared Taehyung more. He slowly sit next to her. Yn, you know when I was little I used to scared of dark a lot. I used to sleep with lights on. And then one night William Augustus my grandfather locked me in a dark room. It was so dark. I couldn't see a thing. I was screaming, crying, begging, but no one opened the door. And then I fainted. He kept doing this to me until I get used to the dark. Such great way to remove fear of darkness from a 5-year-old kid, right? She looked Taehyung who becomes speechless. He don't know what to say or how to react. Yn, let me tell you more story about my childhood. I was 5 years old when my parents got divorced. No one wanted me cause they have to show each other how successful they can be. And living with the child is extra responsibility which they doesn't want to carry. So they left me with my so-called grandfather. Yn, as a only heir of Augustus family, I should be perfect like robot. I grew up eating raw and boiled vegetables. No meat were allowed for me cause they contain extra fat. But sometimes I also didn't get those vegetables. 1 week with no food. Why? Cause I jump on the bed. Cause I wanted to play with toys. Cause I wanted to sleep a little more. Yn, his punishments were unique. He never beat me nor shout at me. His favorite punishment was making his German shepherd angry and make them run behind me. Those dogs were so scary. I used to beg and cry in fear when those dogs chased me, but no one came to help me. Everyone used to stand there and enjoy the show. I got beat by those dogs couple of times, but William Augustus was fast enough to treat me with the best doctor every time. Yn, oh, and there was another favorite punishment of his. First the maids tied me with a rope and then apply caramel all over my body except for my face. Then they left ants on me. That punishment was painful at first, but then I started liking it. I felt like at least someone is having their favorite food and Taehyung suddenly pulled Yn in his embrace. Taehyung, please stop. Yn pushed Taehyung and freed herself from his grip. She started speaking again. It's like now she will pour all her pain out. Yn, one night it was raining heavily. I got high fever. My whole body was trembling because of cold. William Augustus come and take me outside. He make me stand in the rain for hours and surprisingly my fever vanished after that. And then I used to stand under the shower every time I got fever. Yn, my parents used to visit me once or twice in a year. They used to come with lots of toys and sweets. They used to play with me for some hours and then left. I used to cry and beg them to not to go or take me with them, but they never listened to me. And after they left, the maids used to throw the gifts and sweets, as William Augustus order. Yn, when I was 9 my mother died in a car accident. Her whole face was destroyed. No one was able to see her cause the scene was unbearable. But William Augustus made me see that. It was so disgusting and scary that I vomit and faint there. Now I don't even remember my mother's real face. Whenever I think about her, that ruined face of her flash in front of my eyes. And 7 years ago I killed William Augustus with my own hands and snatched my peace from him. Yn stopped speaking at this point and rested her head on Taehyung's shoulder. She started humming a song. Yn, now I'm feeling light. Don't think that I tell you this story to get your pity. Don't pity me. I don't need it. I just tell you cause Ms. Evie tell me pouring the pain out in front of close one give peace. I know I'm nothing to you, but you meant the world for me. She started humming the same melody again. Taehyung was just sitting there like a lifeless body. After sometimes Y or N spoke again. Y or N, and a congratulations for your wedding. I promise I will never bother you again and you will never see this crazy girl's face. Taehyung felt a twist in his heart at her words. Y or N get up and started walking away, but she stopped suddenly and looked back at Taehyung. Y or N, does the baby actually died? Am I not pregnant anymore? Taehyung, what do you think? Do you still feel our baby in you? Y or N smiles sadly and looked down. Y or N, looks like I really don't have anything to lose. Lara. No one can win against Lara Davis. She smirk and take a sip from her morning coffee. Lara has a crush on Taehyung since the beginning, but when that day Y or N hit her with the wine bottle, Taehyung becomes a game to her which she wanted to win with any cost. And in the end, she won. Taehyung sit on his knees in front of her and Y or N was witnessing it. What can be more satisfying than this? Lara get up from the couch and walk towards her room. Lara entered in her bedroom and get the biggest shock in her life and also get scared seeing the person in her room. It's YN. She's sitting in front of the mirror wearing her wedding gown. She's looking scary. Her eyes were red. Her mascara is ruined and it stands her cheeks as she was crying few minutes ago. Her dark red lipstick got smudged. She smirk at turn to Lara. Lara noticed a knife in her hand. While playing with the sharp edge of the knife, she said, Y or N? The relationship between me and my Tae is very psychological. One is psycho and other is logical.